Hey, hi all. Welcome back to BRR Knowledge Center. In this today's session, we'll talk about types in TypeScript. So earlier we discussed about the setuping of TypeScript in Windows system, how to install and how to set up, and then we have seen a simple program like first program of TypeScript, like how we're going to write a program using any editor. I think we have used Visual Studio Code, and then how we are going to convert, transform this TypeScript to JavaScript because TypeScript won't execute directly into the browser. So we have to transform to JavaScript and then execute. So using TypeScript compiler, we have converted this TypeScript to JavaScript, and then using Node, right? Because that's the final command you have to use it for executing TypeScript. So using Node, so I've just executed the sample program or first program, and I've shown you the output how it is displaying it. Now this next thing is what are the types in TypeScript? Because TypeScript is strongly coupled or a strong typed, right? Strongly typed programming language, hence it must support some types, not like no JavaScript. So JavaScript won't have any data types. So, but when it comes to TypeScript, we have some data types to store different values. It provides data types for the JavaScript to transform it into a strongly typed programming language. So anyway, JavaScript does not support data types, but with the help of TypeScript, we can use the data types feature in JavaScript. Okay. So TypeScript plays an important role when an object-oriented programmer wants to use a type feature in any scripting language or object-oriented programming language. So this type system checks the validity of the given values before the program uses them, right? That's what the purpose of strongly typed. So using this strongly typed, I think we shall not make any mistakes while assigning any value or while displaying any value, right? Or while we transforming value from a client or UI to a memory, right? It ensures that the code behaves as expected. That's what the main aim and the purpose of this types in any programming language. But especially when it comes to TypeScript, this is type-based programming language. That's what we are saying, strongly typed programming language. So going to the here, these are some types in TypeScript. So we can classify the TypeScript data types into these types, like static, and again static divides into two: built-in and user-defined. So in parallel, we have generic types and decorators. So basically, we have three types in TypeScript: static, generics, and decorators. So when it comes to static data types or static types, static type means at compile time or without running a program. In in a statical way or statically typed language, variables and parameters, right, have types that the compiler knows at compile time, right? The compiler used this information to perform the type checking while compiling your program. Okay, so this static types can be further, right, divided into, right, so two subcategories, right? Like one thing is built-in types and user-defined types. Okay. What this built-in or primitive types? So let me explain you in Notepad. So TypeScript types TypeScript provides below types. One thing is static, right? Other thing is generics, right? And third one is, right, static, sorry, decorators. Okay. Again, this static into, right? Again, this static is divided into, right, static types. So static types again divided into built-in types and user types. Okay. What is the static means? Static type means, right, at compile time. That means there are two stages while you executing any program, right? Compile time and runtime. So the static types basically comes into the picture when you're compiling your program. So when you compiling it, it is going to validate the type, right? So the compiler use this information to perform type checking. The compiler used, right, this information to perform type checking at compile time. Okay. So static types can be further divided into two subcategories. Static types further divided into two types. One is built-in types. Another one is, right? What is second one is user defined. Okay, user defined types, right? So when it comes to built-in, the name itself saying that, right? The data types are built-in type. That means primitive data types. So the TypeScript have five built-in data types, which are comes under built-in types. Okay, the TypeScript have five built-in types. They are number, right? String, right? Boolean, void, and null. So these are the built-in data types TypeScript is come up with. So when it comes to number, like in JavaScript, all the numbers in TypeScript are stored in floating point values. Okay, so these numeric values are treated like as a numeric data type or number data type. The numeric data type can be used to represent both integers and fractions, right? Maybe float or decimal. All things are treated as numeric data type. TypeScript also support a binary, octa, and decimal and hexadecimal literals as well. Okay, so when I define a variable of number type, let me tell you a number data type. Okay, so when I do like let identifier, right? This is my variable of type number equal to some value. Okay, this is what the syntax basically. Okay, so when it comes to number, TypeScripts are stored the floating point values, right? So like JavaScript, like JavaScript, all the numbers in TypeScript are stored as floating point values. Okay, so the numeric data type can be used to represent both the numeric type used to represent both decimal and fractional numbers, right? So the syntax of this number is let identifier. That means this is a variable name. I can say this is variable name. Okay, and this is the number. That means the type equal to some value. For example, okay, so I wanted to define let uh, first value, right? Uh, First value. I'm defining this as number equal to 10. Okay, so that means so I'm just defining this again second value as well. Let's get so let second value number is starting. Okay, so coming back here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define third variable as well because first thing I defined as some number. This I'm going to define as fractional number. Also, I can define third value number I can define octa number as well. 00377, something like that. Also, I can define hexadecimal value also, right? That is OX, right? 37FC, like this. So because I can write what I'm trying to say, I can store any value, right? I can store, I can, like your, I can store any value in number data type. That's what I'm just trying to explain it here. So hence, I can define this number data type for storing all decimal, fractional, octa, and hexadecimal numbers. Okay. So now I can just say like console dot log of first value, console dot log of second value, second and third. So like that, I can display my values using this. Okay, so after saving this with .cts, and if you just compile this with the TCS TypeScript compiler, it will converting into JavaScript, and that JavaScript you can directly use it. Let me show you in this my editor. So I'll just number demo.ts. So let first value, right? F value of type as number is right 10, which is decimal. Let second value also number. This is fractional number. Let third value of number equal to octa number I'm storing, right? Okay, let me try this. X. This is okay. And let fourth value, I'm storing this as hexadecimal number 37CF. So I can say this is fourth value. Now I'm going to display this. It's right, console dot log, console dot log f value, console dot s value, console dot t value, console dot log of fourth value. So, and then what you have to do is you go to your, the command prompt where you saved your program, that is number demo. Try to compile with TypeScript compiler number demo.ts. It is compiled and it generated JavaScript here. This is what JavaScript file has been generated. Now you just use node, right, to execute this and say number demo.js. I can see values are printed. So this is what the example, right? How you are going to, the use number of this to define any kind of decimal and fractional, also octa and hexadecimal or binary numbers. Okay, and I think you can use binary number as well, like six value, right? Number equal to, right? Binary number I can save. That means 0b, and I can say something, right? 0b and 100. This is my binary number console dot log of s value. And I can save this, and again I'll go to here and I can compile this. And what's happening? This is something can't declare block scope variable is value. Okay, already we have defined six value. I can say SIEX, save it, and now try to compile it. No exception. Now execute this. Save this, right? Whatever value I mentioned 100, which is equivalent to 4 decimal. 100 is the binary of 4 decimal. That's the reason it displayed 4. Okay. So this is how you are going to, convert or, assign different numeric values to, right? Number data type. So wherein you just, use number data type and you assign the values, right? And which is going to type check the type, which is going to check the validity of type while compiling this using TypeScript compiler. Okay, let's go back to this notes. Now, coming to the next data type is string. So we will use the string data type to represent the text in TypeScript. Okay, string type work with textual data basically. So when it comes to string, this basically using it for storing string data. Syntax is simple, right? Let variable name, right? Colon string equal to empty. So for example, right? Let emp name string equal to, right, BRR. This is how you are going to save or assign values to string data type. Okay. So like that, you can use string data type as part of defining your, right, textual data in TypeScript. Okay. And coming to the next one is Boolean, because as part of this, I think third one is Boolean. So as like other languages, right, this Boolean, right, is used for, having two values that are true or false. A Boolean value is truth value, which specifies, right, whether the condition is true or not. So the string and numeric data types can have an unlimited number of different values, right? The numeric data types or number data type can have an unlimited value, right, at right side. And even string data type also going to have unlimited characters at right side. When it comes to Boolean, we always have two values, true or false. Okay. So the syntax of Boolean is, right, again, let identifier or variable name, right? This is Boolean. This is a Boolean, right? Equal to, okay, a Boolean value I'm going to give it. That is false. Let us say like let is female is a variable of type Boolean true. Okay. This is going to assign true value to this particular is female variable. And next one is y. That is one more built-in data type. So id is the return type of the functions which do not return anything, right? It is used to where data type is available. No data type is available. It is used where no data type is available. In this case, a variable of type y is not useful because we can only assign undefined or null to them. So an undefined data type denotes uninitialized variables, whereas null represents a variable whose value is undefined. Okay. So generally, why we use, right, for functions to return something, but in the TypeScript we can use this as part of variable declaration where no data type is available. Okay. So I can say, right, the void is a return type of the functions which do not return any type of value. Okay. It is used where no data type is available, right? So a variable of type void is not useful because we can only assign undefined or null to them. Okay. Syntax is let variable name This is void, right? I can say undefined. Okay, that means the variable name by default assigning as undefined. For example, I'm just assigning example, let temp, right? Let our number, right? Num, which is of type void, undefined. Okay, so num equal to null, I'm assigning it. Again, num equal to 10 value, I'm assigning. Okay, so I'm just printing this using a function in this case, which will just print this function of my variable. Display value. Okay, this is void type I'm using it. This is the syntax of defining function also void. Okay, so herein I'm just saying a lot of, right? This is a welcome value, or you can say display message this function. This is a welcome message and close it. Okay, so in this case, what happened is this is just print this because it doesn't return anything. But when it comes to here, why you sorry, your num variable is defined as void, that means undefined. That means you can say null value. But when you say 10, it is going to throw you exception. Okay, let me show you that program. Uh, let me take an example of void demo, right? .ts. Let number, I'm just defining as void equal to undefined. That's fine. But when you're trying to assign null value, it will assign. Again, when you try to assign this value, it is throwing an exception. What happened? Now let num. Uh, it should assign it right. Num void. Let num void undefined. Num equal to null. What it is saying? Let num void view problem. The null is not assignable to type void. Oh my god. Okay, I think we should only use undefined in this case then. Okay, we can't use null value, I guess. Why? Okay. Only undefined we are going to assign to this particular variable. Other values it is not accepting it because we have a null variable going forward, null data type, hence it is not accepting it. So this is going to throw you error. Okay. When I assign null also, it is going to throw you error. But when I, declare a function like display message of void, this is my function, right? I can say the alert of this is just a welcome message. Okay, now it is valid. Okay, so num undefined valid, this void is valid. Okay, so now go back to next data type is null. So that means so null. Okay, as part of built-in data type, this is the last one, I guess. So null represents a variable whose value is undefined, much like the void. It is not extremely useful on its own, but null accepts them only one value, which is null. Okay. So coming here, right? Okay. So I can say that uh, there is that here null. So null represents okay variable whose value is undefined. Okay. So this null accepts the only one value which is null. Okay, the null keyword is used to define the null type in TypeScript. The null keyword is used to define the null type in TypeScript. Okay. So if you're defining any variable of null, that becomes null type in TypeScript. Okay. So this syntax also same, right? Let variable name, right? Here I can say this is number, in this case equal to, right, null. Example, I can say let num, this number type is null. Let, right, bool variable of boolean, I can define null. Let str of type string, I can define null. So you can assign null value, right, which is nothing but, right, null type. Okay, and the next one is undefined. This is the undefined data type in the primitive. So when come to here, our data types, right? These are 5 data types we already covered, but I wanted to check this, like what is this undefined? Undefined also need primitive, right? Because as part of this, right, built-in data types, and undefined also one of the data type, which denotes uninitialized variables in TypeScript. Okay, that means you can, assign undefined to any variable, right? Which means it is not initialized. So, like, almost all data types were covered here, but this is used to assign, or you can say this is basically used for, right? This is used to assign. I can say that. Okay. This type denotes, right, all uninitialized variables in TypeScript and JavaScript. Also, we can use same thing for uninitialized variables, right? It has only one value, which is undefined. Okay, the undefined keyboard defines an undefined type in TypeScript, but it is not useful because we can only assign undefined value to it. Okay, so these are the 5 data types comes under built data types. So as part of static, we have built-in, and built-in is going to have these 5 data types. In the next session, we'll see like what are all these user-defined data types. Okay, so again, user-defined data types are going to be defined into different sections or different types like arrays, tuple, enums, functions, classes, interfaces. So these are user-defined data types. We'll see them in next class. Okay. Thanks for listening to this video, and please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.